What did you try and found out it's not for you? Today. I tried today and it's just not working for me. I want to go back to bed and try again tomorrow. Very relatable, man. I remember this audio that's been going viral of this Indian guy who says something like, when you have a bad day, go home and sleep. Some days are ducked. And cannot be unfucked. Lol, that's some nice advice. Okay, so my husband died recently and that audio clip was sent to me and I was like, yes, random Indian man, this is exactly what I needed. So my friend with Pakistani parents, similar accent, started sending me my own personalized audio clips for a couple weeks in the same style. 1010 life improvement. Heroin. Tried it once for like 10 years. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Working in a daycare. Made me realize I love my kids, not all kids. I love kids. I'm great with them. Teaching preschool cured me of ever wanting to work with them again. As a teacher of middle schoolers, I love my age group. Early on in my career I taught first grade. It was sweet, and adorable, and full of hugs and love, but first graders always need you and it's exhausting. Middle schoolers, you can let them work for 20 minutes while you grade papers and only occasionally glance up and they are fine, after the first few weeks when you are setting routines and boundaries. It's so much less stress teaching 12-year-olds instead of 6-year-olds. You just need a high tolerance for adolescent body odor and stupid slang words that make no sense. Bet. No cap. On God. Playing the guitar. My teacher straight up promised to give me an A for effort if I didn't come to class anymore. Ada, this was a guitar elective class at a public high school. Ada 2. Wow, I did not expect to wake up and be the top comment. I don't think I've been the top comment or had this many of quotes on anything on Reddit ever. Thanks for all the awards. Shout out to Mr. Shiga. He really was an amazing teacher and I just really was that bad. He actually had a ton of patience with me until we both realized the guitar was just not for me and it was probably better to take that stress off of my already very heavy plate senior year. It was actually first period, so I was happy to not have to go to class and I brought him Starbucks pretty often as a thank you. You failed successfully. Nightclubs. Grew up in a super religious house, so I wasn't allowed to go. Then I moved out and found them super boring and overwhelming. You can't actually have a conversation. People seem to be acting to look cool and get laid and it can get super expensive. Totally with you on this. Had a few girlfriends that always wanted to go and I would be so bored unless it had a pool table or game spot. The drain on the wallet was always the worst part though. Bar games make or break a place for me. I love a good pool hall. Being a teacher. I love the teaching. I hate being a teacher. Edit, the funny thing is that I'm still teaching. Will be changing after this school year is done. Do I know what to? Not really, but I shiver at the thought of another 30 years to go. Edit 2, I've seen tons of questions and I'll put it this way without going too deep, it's not you, it's me. I need to work on me right now. Maybe it's the audience? Adult education might be worth a try. A gay relationship. Always been kind of attracted to men, so went out on a couple dates with men that were so-so. Finally hit it off with a guy, tried sexual stuff and I was immediately not into it. Turns out I like looking at good-looking men and it stops there. It was weird. Nothing wrong with window shopping. French phrase for window shopping is window licking. I just found that tidbit relevant here. The British meaning of window licking has nothing to do with shopping, which probably isn't relevant, but I do like to be involved. Edit, spelling, it's early. Being a responsible adult, it's ducking shit. Such a hassle. The hospitality sector. I was a cook for all of my 20s, and the only saving grace of that god-awful line of work was the coworkers. I think the main reason we all got along so well was because none of us really liked or cared about our jobs. With no room to advance, nobody's stabbing each other's backs to get ahead, and nobody needs to act polite or pretend they like being there. Honestly, I kind of miss it. I miss that so much. Absolutely hated that job, but the camaraderie of the line is something I will always miss. I also miss having a job that has a finite end when your shift ended. There were no ongoing projects, deadlines, thing to catch up on after hours. You clocked in, worked, and clocked out. Browsing DeviantArt. It was so good in the early 2000s. It really was. I miss the early 2000s internet. Early 2000s internet was about people connecting with each other and making cool things. 2020s internet is about people generating content for websites to put ads on. Early 2000s felt so much more personal. Like, there was real life over here, and internet life over there. Talk to real life people about the internet, or modding a forum on your spare time and they look at you like you're trying to sell them a jar of chlamydia. Talk to internet life people about real life people and they totally get it. Not so much, nowadays. Being active on social media. I prefer to keep to myself and not share my life online. Edit, to the people saying but Reddit is social media, I get it, smarty pants. Call it whatever you want. When I say social media, I'm mainly talking about Facebook and Instagram. The platforms where you use your real name and you're surrounded by people you actually know. Cocaine and bungee jumping. At the same time? Individually. But maybe. No. Pretty sure I would just die. I tried a sensory deprivation tank because I thought it would be therapeutic, etc., and it devolved into a panic attack. I really tried to ride it out, but 15 minutes and I crawled out crying and shivering. Apparently some of us need to feel connected to our senses to feel real. Also, the salt burned the shit out of my scalp. Wear a swimming cap if you're gonna try it. Had a drop of high saline condensation land right in my eye. I was devoid of all sensation except a burning coal where my eye once was. Sorry this happened to you, but your explanation made me lol. Casual hookups. A committed relationship is far less stressful and more satisfying. Edit, thank you for the gold kind, stranger. I wasn't expecting this to blow up. I guess I should elaborate further, but I think quite a few of you already have a solid idea as to why. I've got no issue with people that do find satisfaction from casual sex. For some it can even be liberating. Different strokes for different folks. But our society puts casual sex on a pedestal while also being contradictory and shaming the people who do frequently engage in it. It is what it is. Personally engaging in the perpetual chase for finding partners that I will only meet for a few hour romp and then have minimal or no contact at all results in lots of stress and mediocre sex. As an introvert, I found that it was far more satisfying to have a committed partner that knows me and whom I can get to know over time. Not having the specter of needing to perform well also makes the activity more relaxing. And I see you demi folk in comments here. Although I don't identify as such, I am dating a demi woman. We are both in our 30s and she has taught me a lot about non-sexual intimacy after nearly lifetime of mixed contradictory messages. Totally agree. I found physical attraction isn't enough for me to enjoy it. If I don't know the person then I don't trust them and am way too in my head the entire time. Tried it a few times. Subpar with women, even worse with men. Won't be trying it again. Sleeping with my friend's wife. My friend wanted me to do it, I guess that's his fetish. I know a bloke who pressured his wife into having sex with another man. His best friend, while he watched, was into watching in a cuck-type way. Eventually, the wife and best friend started ducking around without the husband being present. She left him for the friend. Husband couldn't understand how this happened. Well, would you look at that, the cuck got cucked. Cuck around and find out. Office jobs. I feel this one. Spent 5 years doing office work and didn't realize just how much it was taking little pieces of myself in that role. It wasn't hard, but was unappreciated and had no real direction. The team completed stuff and somehow I was supposed to feel fulfilled without having any part in the achievement. Instead, I went to electrical lineman school. It was hard on my body, but I managed to stick it out. Graduated and took a groundman position doing real line work. So far, as a career, it's been fulfilling to have a hand making modern living possible. Way more satisfying, but I seriously need to take stock in Motrin. Me and warehousing. We loaded X amount of trucks this week, a new record good for us. We broke records almost every week and never got raises or anything. Now I work for a non-profit as a maintenance man for group homes for people with severe and persistent mental illnesses. I feel appreciated, and when I go to these homes I can look around and know I've made a place where people who struggle to keep their homes livable, better. In one case I completely redid a client's room. We tore up the floor and repainted everything and got them new furniture, and after that the client improved dramatically. I directly helped and improved someone's life, and the normal staff helped keep them from backsliding to where they were when they came to us. Compare that to loading trucks for corporate overlords and there's no contest. I'm still not getting pay raises though.